What's good, people? This is Franchise Play, and I started not to do a draft class this year, but I changed my mind. Actually, I might even do two, but one of them is not going to be just traditional rookies, but we'll get into that later. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys just probably like 3 to 5 players at a time. This time we'll do 3. Starting at the top of most mock drafts. Jabari Parker right now is probably clowning a lot of people at number 1. This is him. I love him as a prospect, but still for me, Andrew Wiggins is the number 1 prospect. But I do acknowledge that Jabari will probably make an impact quicker in the NBA because his game is a little bit more NBA ready right now. But I think that Andrew Wiggins still has the higher ceiling. But this is Jabari, number 1. And if you guys know anything about the draft classes or whatever for NBA 2K, you don't have nearly as much options, nearly as many options to change faces and stuff like that. You have like a collection of somewhere between 14 to maybe like 20 faces, 23 faces, and you got to kind of find the best. The face is closest, most closely resembles the guy you're trying to recreate. So this is probably the best looking face that I got for Jabari Parker. Now, you don't get a chance to pick all of the faces. You get like a dump out of faces. So you got to kind of scroll through the whole list of predetermined players and say, okay, this guy here looks the most like Jabari Parker. So, when you go into create the draft class, you don't get a chance to like redo everybody. They've already given you this draft class. You're more or less, you just get a chance to edit them, and you don't get a chance to edit the faces. So it's really not it's not really friendly for customization, but it's what we got. So it's what you got to deal with, So yeah, this is the dunk package. You saw the overall rating was an 81. So I gave him the highest overall rating of all of the potential rookies because I think he's the most NBA ready. Now, see, some of those guys there I haven't done yet. Let's move on to Andrew Wiggins, who is, I think I had him at a 77. A couple little things I tweaked here and there when I got in here just now was things with wingspan, because Jabari's wingspan is pretty long. A lot of people compare him to Carmelo Anthony, which is I think a valid comparison. Neither of them are freakish athletes, but he's a good enough athlete for his high skill level, able to shoot, score from the outside, score from the inside. So there's no doubt Jabari is going to be a player. Andrew Wiggins, to me, like I said, is the prospect with the highest ceiling, because of his size, athleticism, arm length, and overall aptitude to add all of the necessary skills to be an impact player on the wing. Jabari is a more skilled basketball player, but what he doesn't have, he's not gonna get. He's not gonna be much better of an athlete than he is. Andrew Wiggins is an elite, freakish athlete. He can attain the skill set that he needs to be, a top 5 player in the NBA. He can do it, and he very well may do it. I believe that he will. A lot of people are down on him right now, though, because he's finding it hard to find his place and when he's supposed to take over games, even though he just lit Kansas State up for 22 points. But I caution people to remember the first half of Derrick Rose's season at Memphis, there were a lot of people that were really questioning what's going on with him. Towards the end of the season and into the tournament, Derrick Rose turned it on and really took control of what was a really talented team. They had Chris Douglas-Roberts, a lot of people on that team. So keep that in mind, and they ended up going to the national championship. Should have won that game. John Calipari got a little bit out-coached down the stretch. Kansas, Mario Chalmers, what happened. So I think something like that could happen with Andrew Wiggins towards the middle to the end of this season. Keep a lookout for him to turn it on for real as the season goes down the stretch. The dude is just too good. He really is. So this is his ratings and all of that. and you see the signature signature settings I put on for him. It's difficult to find these shot motions and stuff for the college players. It is. I mean, you watch the the highlights and stuff of them, and you pay attention when you watch them play live. But it's without a whole bunch of time devoted to this aspect of it. You just try to get it somewhat close. In terms of the dunk package, I'm going off stuff you saw in games as well as dunk contests and stuff you saw me in, a little pregame exhibitions. Andrew Wiggins can jump out the gym. I mean, out of the gym. So he deserves to have a sick dunk package. Now, the third guy that you'll see here is one of the hotter names is flying up the board. And I actually might even up his overall before I actually put this officially out there to download. I mean, it's out there now if you guys want the incomplete version. But this is Joel Embiid, Andrew Wiggins' teammate, legit 7-footer, 250 pounds, ridiculously athletic. Every game I see of him, I'm more impressed. Because at first I really was not completely on board. I wasn't. I was like, okay, yeah, bigs always rise, whether or not they're talented enough or not, they always rise. But every time I see him play, I'm seeing more and more of the athleticism, not just the size. This dude is like, whoa. I mean, it's getting serious. It's getting serious with him. Against Kansas State, he's hitting jump shots, and he's, I mean, the way he knows how to get position on the post and get his shot and plays under control. It's not just pure athleticism from an offensive standpoint. Kind of like when you watch DeAndre Jordan, he's a freak athlete. So a lot of what he does offensively is just pure athleticism. Joel Embiid has a higher skill level than DeAndre Jordan. In terms of footwork and touch, it's getting real. So don't be surprised if he does go number one because of the size, athleticism, and skill level. I mean, teams love the bigs, and because basketball is always going to be a big man's game. So that's one thing to watch out for. So those were the three guys I chose to do early on. We'll see what happens after that. We'll do some other guys moving forward. But yes, franchise play draft class is coming. Y'all stay on the lookout for it. I'll be doing updates regularly, so you will know when it is done. Y'all subscribe, follow. Peace.